Oh, here's an interesting bit of history for you. On every mine back in the old days, I would always ask for, well, of course, accident reports, total blah blah blah, total this, total that, but also total explosive amount of explosives used in each mine. So when you look up old mines, there somewhere in there, if it was one of mine or one of the mines that I was keeping track or they're keeping track of for me, it should be there should be a little column somewhere that says total amount of explosive used in this mine, which would have been the total amount of TNT that they were using to build the mine or to do the mine. I like to keep track of how much explosive was used in each mine. I mean, not me personally, but I mean, I wanted it to be kept track of. So back in the early days in the early mines, you might see like in some of the records, you might see total amount of explosive used to this date, and then and then so on and so forth, just to keep track of how much explosive was going into each mine, and how much was being used to mine how much distance. It was kind of more of a if you ever want to build a future mine and you want to mine into a mountain, just to know, well, that's going to take X amount of explosive to go 100 feet or 200 feet or wherever. And it's kind of one of those general research things that I kind of wanted included with all the mines is because I was wondering how much explosive does it take to tunnel in a 10-foot wide tunnel 50 feet deep. And I wanted to get that on record or some sort of record of that, so future people, if they ever want to dig a mine or dig a tunnel, they can be like, well, that's going to take X amount of explosive or E amount of explosive. But basically, when they were doing a lot of the mines, at least for me, they would always have this little column, I suppose, at the corner at the side. I mean, I asked for it, so I assume it was done. That would say total amount of explosives used to this date on the mine. So anyway, should be out there, should be in there somewhere, I suppose, I assume, because it's one of the things I wanted. Because plus there. I mean, you could probably find out from DuPont or whatever, one of the other companies. But I mean, but I kind of wanted to be filed with the mines themselves, so you could know. And plus, it also kind of helps for like, oh look. 3 truckloads of explosive have gone missing between this location and that location. Wait a minute, what? That kind of thing. And probably where it was served to keep track of explosives later on. Anyway, though, it's more of a research thing, and actually, I suppose, turned into more of a safety thing later on. But anyway, it's kind of how, I wanted my government, my country run, and I suppose it's how they did it. Anyway, files, records, pictures, all that stuff. I was very big on all that and back in the day. I was building a country and wanted to know, basically wanted someone to know pretty much. Anyway, though, kind of one of those random general things that is out there somewhere. Anyway, I did a lot of things, and well, I mean, I was paying for it all, so I was paying for the building of a country. So personally, practically, at times it was personally paying for a country to be built. So yeah, anyway, so I wanted things done a certain way, and they were basically done that way pretty much for many, many years. And then it kind of took on a life of its own, and now we get into a modern day era and all that other good stuff. And realistically, I just liked information.